Bloody hell, we finally got there, Saners. The AFL, they are shocking with this fixture reveal, honestly. The club have put it out, thank God, but the AFL got to pull their heads in because that little live stream to explain fixtures that we already knew was absolutely atrocious. But nonetheless, let's get into my full reaction of the St Kilda AFL fixture. I will try and pop it up on the screen as much as I can so you can come along for the journey with me. I'll run through them and then we can kind of talk about it. So, opening round, we're not included, obviously. Round 1, Sunday, Adelaide, in Adelaide. Round 2, Geelong at Marvel. Round 3, Richmond at Marvel. Round 4, Port Adelaide in Adelaide. Followed by the Giants in Adelaide at Norwood Oval for gather round. So, within our first 5 games, we play 3 of them in Adelaide. I said yesterday, if we play Port Adelaide in Adelaide again, I'm going to fume. I get the logic of having Adelaide, like 2 back-to-back Adelaide games so we don't travel, but we play Adelaide in Adelaide, we play Port Adelaide in Adelaide, and then we play the Giants in Adelaide. Why couldn't we play Adelaide or Port in Melbourne? Are we going to get that later in the fixture? We better. Let's keep going. If we don't, that's shit, but it is what it is. So after gather round, we've got the Dogs on a Sunday at Marvel, followed by Brisbane Saturday at Marvel, Fremantle at Marvel Friday night. So that's our first Friday night game of the season. And then we back it up at home at the MCG against Carlton at the MCG Friday, 9th of May. So back-to-back Friday nights is really exciting. Both home games, especially the one against Carlton MCG. That is our home game, which is awesome. Then we go and play West Coast in Perth, which we tend to do a lot. And then we play the Gold Coast Suns in Melbourne, followed by Melbourne at TIO Stadium away Sunday afternoon. Then we have a bye. After the bye, we play the Dogs Thursday night football at home, and then Collingwood on Saturday night at Marvel. So Collingwood this year will be at the Marvel Stadium, not the MCG. Then we've got Thursday. We're not sure yet, but then we've got Fremantle away, Hawthorn at home, Sydney at home, Geelong away. So Geelong is a double up. Melbourne is a double up. We've got North for the first time. We play North once in round 21. We've got a back-to-back against Richmond, it looks like, at the MCG. So 2 MCG games for the whole season. Essendon, and then we ended with the Giants away. So let's just go through the post because they'll kind of summarize it a bit better. Among the highlights of the season is Thursday night fixture against the Dogs, round 14, Anzac Day round matchup against Brisbane, round 7, Sir Douglas Nicholls round against Gold Coast, and back-to-back games against Geelong and Richmond, round 3. We play 3 games in South Australia in the first 5 weeks, which I think is just, I don't know, I don't like that. Interstate trips to Optus in round 10, TIO in round 12, just the second time the club has played at that venue. Between round 1 to 15, 7 of St Kilda's games have been scheduled for Sunday. No surprise there. With round 11 against Gold Coast, the only Saints home game to fall on that day. The club will also feature in a new Sunday evening slot against the Bulldogs away in round 6. The Saints will face Geelong, the Giants, Richmond, Fremantle, Melbourne, and the Dogs twice throughout the course of the season. So double ups. The double ups aren't bad, to be honest. Like Geelong, home and away, we've been pretty competitive against them the last couple of years. The Giants, I think we can definitely beat them. Richmond, you'd hope we can beat them twice. Fremantle will be tough away, but at home is a 50-50. And Melbourne, depending on, we don't really know how their season's going to go, but the AFL have ranked them in the bottom 6 teams. So maybe we're favourites for both. That would be nice. And then the Dogs twice will be a pretty hard double up, depending on how they go off the back of their finals exit this year. What's our longest stretch of Marvel games? Because last year we had 7 of our last 8 at Marvel. This year we've got, after the bye, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Marvel games and then an MCG. So 8 of our last, 12 or 13 are in Melbourne to end the year, which isn't bad. It's just that first 5 or 6. We need to get through that. Like Adelaide away first up's not going to be easy, but it's winnable. Geelong at home is winnable. Richmond at home is winnable. Port Adelaide away. We always seem to stuff that one up. Then we've got the Giants at Norwood Oval, which might benefit us because it's a neutral location, not a great oval. But then we've got the Dogs, Brisbane, Fremantle, Carlton. So that stretch of Port Adelaide away, Giants, Dogs, Brisbane, Fremantle, Carlton, that's a hard run. They're all finalists. Port Adelaide, prelim. Finalists. Giants, prelim. Dogs, finalists. Brisbane, premier. Fremantle not finalists, but should have been. And Carlton, finalists, followed by West Coast away, not easy. Gold Coast at home, fair enough. That's probably our hardest stretch. Although after the bye, actually, no, I take that back. Even after the bye, we've got Dogs, Collingwood, Fremantle, Hawthorn, Sydney, Geelong. Our easiest stretch of games. I mean, there's never really an easy stretch of games, but what would possibly be our easiest stretch of games? Maybe West Coast, Gold Coast, Melbourne, that 3 there. But funnily enough, only one of them is at Marvel. But at the end of the day, we always know the fixtures are all completely random. They talk about it like there's a science behind it, but there's really not. It's all about maximizing crowds and also accommodating the broadcasters, and that's the way it is. And obviously we don't draw crowds the way other clubs do, so that's just going to be the way it is. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I feel like if we're good enough, it doesn't matter. There's a few games there that jump out to me that I like, and then there's just that start. I just don't get why we have to play Port Adelaide. We play Adelaide once and Port Adelaide once, and they're both in Adelaide. Pick one. Give us a double up against Adelaide or Port. Like one at home, one in. We don't get that ever. The last time we played Adelaide at Marvel was 2019. I don't get why. And Adelaide have got good representation in Melbourne, so I just don't get that. But that stretch in the first, we're going to know so much in that first 9 rounds. Honestly, Adelaide away in there, Carlton, Fremantle, Brisbane, Dogs, Giants, Port. The only to me, the only one that we go in as favourites or 50, kind of heavy favourites would be Richmond in round 3. Adelaide away, we won't be favourites. Geelong at home, maybe, just because it's at Marvel. Port Adelaide away, we won't. Giants away, we won't. Doggies, probably not. Brisbane, definitely not. Fremantle at home, maybe. Carlton at the MCG, probably not. We're going to have to start the season like a house on fire. We can't get to round 9, 10 and be 2-3 wins. We need to be breaking even or just on the positive side of the ledger. Because next season's a big season for us, Saners. We need to be winning games, and I firmly expect we should be making finals. That's the expectation. That's the goal. And if we want to hit free agency next year and get some of these big names across, we need to become the only way to become a destination club is to win games. So, to me, this is a bit of a tricky fixture, I think, but I think it's manageable. Actually, there's a stretch there of Melbourne, North, Richmond, Essendon, all in Melbourne, so they're all winnable as well. Geelong away, we always get Geelong away. Yeah, Hawthorn we only play once, and Brisbane we play once. So we play the Premiers once, and Collingwood once. So that's the fixture, Saners. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I don't mind it, but it's just obviously it's got a lot to do with us and how we go. If we perform, then every one of these games, bar maybe Brisbane, we can probably win. Although Brisbane, even then, it's at Marvel, so we don't play them at the Gabba. But if you're good enough, you get the job done, right? That's the case. That's how it's got to be. So the attitude is anywhere, anytime, get the job done. So that's the fixture, Saners. Put it in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it. There's no real short breaks. We don't jump like Saturday to Friday, Friday to Sunday, Sunday. Then we have a bye Thursday to Saturday. We don't really have any silly 3, 4, 5 day breaks like we did earlier in the season this year. So that's a positive. But yeah, that's a wrap, Saners, on this. That's the fixture. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks again and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.